There is a quiet shift that begins as we approach midlife. For many, it's subtle, a change in what we value, what we seek, and most profoundly, how we love. The 40s are not just a number on a calendar. They are a psychological turning point. A moment when the soul begins to ask questions the ego has long ignored. You may find yourself standing in the ruins of what you once thought love was. The fairy tales no longer satisfy. The illusions crumble. And for the first time you ask, what does it mean to be truly loved? For who I am beneath all I've performed. This is where Jungian psychology becomes more than theory. It becomes a path back to the self, and then, from that self, to real connection with another. You see, in our early years, love is projection. We fall for a person because they reflect something we long for in ourselves. We cast the inner anima or animus, the inner feminine or masculine, onto another, hoping they will complete us. But this is not love. This is a mirror. This is a mirror. As Jung said, the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. But in our 40s, we no longer crave just reaction. We crave truth. And truth requires the courage to meet love with all our shadows intact. In the first half of life, we wear the mask, the persona. We become what is expected, the provider, the pleaser, the achiever, the ideal partner. We mold ourselves not from wholeness, but from the desire to be accepted, and we call that love. But the midlife moment, it undresses us. It strips away the roles we've played and asks, who are you, really? The relationships that are born in this second half of life are not based on fantasy. They are based on integration. They are not about escaping loneliness. They are about embracing solitude first, and then choosing someone not out of need, but out of wholeness. And this is why love in your 40s can be more real, more raw, more sacred. Because now, if you are willing, you can love with awareness. But it is not easy. First, you must confront the shadow. All that was repressed, ignored, denied in your younger years begins to stir. The pain of heartbreaks you never processed. The self-doubt you covered with success. The longing for intimacy you confused with attraction. The shadow is not the enemy. It is the gatekeeper of your authenticity. If you want to love deeply in your 40s, you must sit with the parts of yourself you never wanted a partner to see, your insecurities, your failures, your loneliness, your truth. You must stop trying to be perfect and begin to be whole. Because only when you are whole, when you no longer outsource your self-worth, can you truly meet another soul. And what a meeting it is. No longer do you search for a savior, you search for a mirror. Not one that flatters, but one that reflects. One that shows you where you've healed and where you've yet to grow. But this kind of love requires a death. The death of the fantasy. The death of the idea that someone out there will rescue you. The death of the belief that love means never being hurt. You will be hurt. You will be seen. You will be challenged. But you will also be transformed. Jung spoke often of individuation, the process of becoming the self. In midlife, this process is urgent. The psyche pushes us toward integration, to bring together the persona and the shadow, the anima and animus, the conscious and the unconscious, and the unconscious. Love becomes part of that process, not a distraction from it. So, how do we find love in our 40s through the lens of Jungian psychology? First, by reclaiming our projections. When we fall in love, we often believe we've met the perfect person. But what we've met is our inner ideal, projected, outward. She is not the goddess. He is not the hero. They are people, flawed, complex and sacred. And when the projection fades, Many mistake it for the end. But in truth, it is the beginning of real love. Love that sees, love that holds space for imperfection. Love that does not demand completion but celebrates evolution. Second, we must do the shadow work. We must ask ourselves, what wounds am I carrying into love? What fears sabotage my closeness? What stories about love no longer serve me? We cannot bring our past unexamined into our future. Otherwise, we relive old patterns with new faces. Midlife love invites us to rewrite the script, to move from reaction to intention, from trauma bonding to conscious connection, from emotional survival to emotional intimacy. Third, we must embrace vulnerability. Vulnerability. You are not the same person you were in your 20s. You've lost. You've grieved. You've seen behind the curtain. Now, love is not a rush. It is a revelation. You reveal yourself slowly, truthfully, and without shame. You say, here I am. This is my truth. These are my wounds. And you hold them without trying to fix them. And in turn, you ask, can I do the same for you? This is mature love, not perfect love, but healing love. Jung believed that healing does not come from escaping the pain, it comes from giving the pain meaning. Relationships, when conscious, give our wounds meaning. They become the very ground upon which we grow. So many in their 40s feel discouraged, like love has passed them by. But the truth is, you are just now becoming ready. Ready to be seen. Ready to give without fear. Ready to receive without guilt. In your 40s, love is no longer a performance. It is a practice, a daily commitment to show up with presence, to choose truth over comfort, to say, I see you, not just when it's easy, but when it's hard. This kind of love is rare. But when it's hard, this kind of love is rare. Not because it is impossible, but because it requires everything. It requires honesty. It requires self-awareness. It requires the courage to walk into yourself before walking into someone else. And yet, when you do, when two souls who have faced their own shadows meet, the love that blooms is not youthful. It is timeless. It is not fast. It is deep. It is not about possession. It is about liberation. You are not too late. You are right on time. Your heart has not closed. It has ripened. And what a gift that is. To love, not because you need to be saved, but because you've already saved yourself. To love, not because you're lonely, but because you are finally at home in your own skin. To love not in search of a fairy tale, but in service of a deeper, richer, more sacred connection. This is the love Jung pointed to. The love that heals, the love that awakens, the love that integrates. So if you are in your 40s, searching, begin with yourself. Begin with your shadow. Begin with your shadow. Begin with your Begin with the part of you that still believes in connection, but has learned not to chase illusion. Heal that part, love that part, and from there, let love find you. Not the love that distracts, the love that transforms. Because in this season of life, love isn't about finding someone to complete you. It's about finding someone to grow beside you. Two people, two souls, each on their own path, but choosing every day to walk side by side. That is Jungian love. That is the love worth waiting for.